Episode 145, Goal Setting for a New Year. This Week in Weddings is a support group for wedding industry entrepreneurs.
We're the ones behind the scenes, planning and designing the event, arranging the flowers, creating the invitations, or taking the photographs for a couple's most important day ever. No pressure.
If you've been in the wedding industry for more than a minute, you know it's not all cake and confetti. Running a wedding business is hard, and it's certainly not for the faint of heart.
This Week in Weddings is where we catch up on this often crazy but amazing industry and share tips on how to be a better business owner, all while supporting each other along the way.
You're listening to This Week in Weddings with Kimberly Rhodes and Annie Roach. Hi guys, I'm Kimberly Rhodes, owner of Hitched Events.
And I'm Annie Roach, owner of 5x7 Designs.
Okay, so we're in it, 2020. We are here.
Happy 2020. Happy New Year, guys.
Well, I mean,
again, we've already said Happy New Year, but now
Yeah.
we're really getting into the business nitty-gritty of the new year.
Now it's now I'm off of vacation. I was on vacation last week. Now it's back.
New year, new you.
Yeah, I feel like just like everybody else in the world, I'm on a new diet.
Oh, yes.
I'm actually not really on a diet. I'm just trying to eat better.
Grapefruit and egg this morning.
I am currently drinking a green smoothie. So there you go.
Did you make the green smoothie or did you buy the green smoothie? Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. I make it in a Vitamix.
Oh, yeah. I have Vitamix too. I just don't use it nearly as enough as I probably should.
The green smoothie I actually really like, and it keeps me full for a long part of the day. So anyway,
I always say, I don't mind eating healthy. It's just I just need a full-time chef.
Yeah.
So if they put it in front of me, I will eat grilled chicken breast and brown rice and broccoli all day long. It's just there's just so many other choices.
Yeah, I would much rather have chips and queso. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I literally, a lot of times we have Mexican food and pizza once a week, which is not good. So I'm turning that around in 2020. It's one of my goals.
Trading in the queso for green juice.
For a green smoothie. Yeah, for sure. Well, this week we're talking about goal setting for the new year. And if you listen to last week's episode, we learned that Annie does not like to set goals. But actually, Annie, that really surprises me because you say you're so money driven.
Yeah,
Do you not make financial goals?
Yeah, I make financial goals. I just don't
Well, I mean, we were talking about goals in general, and you're like, I don't set goals.
Well, I just don't I don't do the formal process where I write them out or put them on a whiteboard and, do all that and have an accountability partner, which maybe I should. I just always strive to do better every year, in terms of financially and, I have these goals inside my head, just like my business. I keep a lot inside my head, and maybe I should pour it out more.
I mean, they say people who write them down are I don't know the percentage. It's so hot, much more likely to achieve them.
I'm just such a
to each their own.
I'm my own worst critic. So if I make a goal, I'll meet it, but it's just inside my head. I don't know.
Well, this week we're talking about goal setting with wedding photographer Lynn Purnell. She is a photographer and videographer and educator based in Hudson Valley, New York, just north of New York City. She specializes in vibrant, natural, and cheerful weddings, proposals, and events. Lynn is known for her upbeat, high-energy personality, meticulous attention to detail, and her ability to capture the mood of every event. Her work has been featured on HuffPost Weddings, Westchester Wedding Planner, Zola, How They Asked, and many more.
She also teaches workshops and courses to photographers and small business owners of all levels and has taught at Creative at Heart Conference, the Rising Tide Society, Tom's Guide, She Creates Business, and Focus podcast. When she's not shooting, editing, or teaching, Lynn is probably trying out a new keto recipe, redecorating her house, or hiking a new trail with her boyfriend, Corrado.
I would like to hear about her keto recipes, but instead, let's talk about goal setting. Let's welcome to the show, Lynn Purnell.
Welcome to the show, Lynn. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yay.
I listen to every single episode of your podcast, so I kind of already feel like I talk to you guys every week.
Oh my gosh.
You're our new best friend already.
Yeah. So it's cool to be able to actually talk to you guys back and forth this time.
Well, love it. Well, I really want to talk about all your keto recipes.
Yes.
But I guess we should talk about goals instead.
And if we have time, keto
Yeah.
recipes.
Yeah, I've got a recent favorite, so maybe we'll squeeze that one in sometime.
Okay, really quick, because we're talking about goals, and I'm sure like 99% of people have like a fitness or weight loss goal.
Uh-huh.
How long have you been doing keto?
That's a good question. We definitely started before the new year. So I watched this movie called The Magic Pill. I think it was in the fall.
Oh, I've watched that too. Yes.
Oh, I
yeah.
haven't seen this, but it sounds like a documentary, and that means I would like it.
Yes. Oh, I love documentaries. I mean, my boyfriend and I have always been like very low sugar. We always knew that sugar was bad, but carbs we were kind of like, 50-50 on. And then we watched that documentary and I was like, let's try it. Like, let's just do it. Like, I was so sold. So we were really strict for, I think it was like 4 weeks, maybe like a little over a month, maybe like 6 weeks. And now we're just kind of like low carb, high fat. So not like strict keto with the 20 grams, but yeah, we're just slowly cleared out our pantry.
My husband did keto, and by like the what's it called? Transmittive property?
Transitive.
Transitive, thank you.
Yeah.
I was kind of doing it because he was doing it.
Yeah.
But 20 grams of carbs a day is really hard.
Oh,
it's hard.
Insane. You don't realize.
Everything.
I mean, even healthy things like vegetables have carbs.
Yes.
Like carrots aren't keto.
Yeah, it's really hard. But I feel like anyone I know who's done it, like really done it, has like dramatically lost weight.
Yeah, it's really effective. Yeah.
It's just too bad. I just love everything that is not keto.
Yeah.
So much.
I will say almost everything that's not keto, there's like a ketoable recipe.
Yes.
Like you can have
that.
pancakes, you can have cookies. Like there's a keto recipe for everything.
It just takes a lot of like planning ahead.
Yeah.
Which is hard.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should talk about the topic at hand.
Yes,
First,
yes.
Lynn, we always ask everyone to tell us how they got into the wedding industry. So tell us your story.
Sure. So like you guys said, my name is Lynn Pernille. I'm a photographer and videographer specializing.
And I have to give golf claps to you, Lynn, for when you sent your bio, you sent how to pronounce your last name.
Yes.
Which definite golf claps to that.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I've learned the hard way. I mean, no one really butchers it. I get Pernille a lot, which is fine. I don't get offended. It's, it's a Danish foreign name, so there's technically not a correct way to pronounce it in English. So, but I prefer Pernille.
There you go.
Yeah. So I specialize mostly in weddings and proposals. So I do photo and video. And then I'm also an educator. So I teach about photography and business strategy. And my favorite topic is goal setting, as you guys know. I live in Hudson Valley, which is about an hour north of New York City. So right between the suburbs and the mountains. And I feel like I'm one of those rare unicorns that found my passion really early on. And I've stuck with it ever since. I really haven't really wavered ever since. So fell in love with photography when I was 14 years old, and I started I started doing freelance jobs, with my sister.
I fell in love with Grant Callison when I was 14 years old. I mean, like, I didn't fall in love with, I fell in love with boys, not things.
No, that was me, little overachiever. Yep. But when I first started out, I was actually mostly interested in fashion and beauty photography. So during college, I interned for the photo department for Harper's Bazaar and Allure magazine, which was actually really fun. It was kind of like that Devil Wears Prada experience.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was fun though. It wasn't, wasn't as bad as the movie. And then in 2011, I shot my first wedding. And after that, I realized, okay, no, this is what I want to specialize in. Weddings just combined every aspect of photography that I loved. There was the photojournalism, there was all the details and the portraits. So ever since then, that's what I decided to focus on. And as of this past fall, I've shot 168 weddings, and I've started, I've started speaking more at conferences and workshops and teaching other photographers. So it's been a really great ride.
That's awesome. Okay, Lynn, you said you love goal setting.
Yes.
Tell us why that is.
Yeah. So, I mean, every single year around this time of year, I just get like so amped up about it, and so does my family. I feel like my sister's just as much of an overachiever as me. My parents are exactly the same. We're all super goal-oriented. And I was trying to figure out, like, why are we so crazy about this? And I think a big part of it is actually because of where we grew up. So I think I mentioned this earlier. My whole family's from Denmark. And without getting too deep or political, Denmark is a socialist country. So that means they really emphasize equality. And as with most things, everything has its pros and cons. So I feel like every year a new article comes out talking about how Denmark is the happiest country in the world. And I think a big part of that is because of, socialism and equality. But the downside is, which they don't talk about that often, is that Denmark has this kind of like unspoken social norm. We call it jantelov, which is kind of like this law, quote unquote, that people try to follow. So basically everyone aims to be average. So the law kind of says you shouldn't try to think that you're someone special or that you're above anyone.
That's so interesting.
Right. So you don't want to be below average. If you're below average, everyone tries to, pull you up to be average. But if you're above average, that's kind of frowned upon. Like, you shouldn't really strive to be above average. So,
I could never live in Denmark.
Right?
I'm so above average. Just kidding, guys.
Yeah, we didn't even really, I guess we noticed it, but we didn't think anything of it. We were totally on board with it. But I think once we moved to America, our eyes were kind of open to the whole American way of being, which is the American dream. Anyone can climb the ladder. I feel like whereas in Denmark, it's kind of frowned upon to be ambitious. In America, that's like what you should strive for. So
yeah, that is so interesting.
Yeah.
And when did you move from Denmark to the US?
I was 5 years old. So it was pretty early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like your parents had seen like the whole transition.
Oh yeah, they were like in their 40s, 40-ish. Yeah.
Wow, that is that is fascinating. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so I will say the first of the year, I'm not like a huge stay out partying on New Year's anymore. But I do love the first of the year because I feel like it's like a fresh start, like a rip the Band-Aid off. You can start fresh in whatever that means, whether it's like working out or eating better or business planning or whatever.
Right.
Like that's, to me, my favorite time of year just because it's like starting
I
over.
completely agree. Yeah. I feel like some people, like the people who don't like January 1st and goal setting, I feel like it's because they feel pressured to do it. Like they feel like they have to set goals. I look at it more as like it's an opportunity to do it, or the rest of the year we're just caught up in daily life. I feel like it's like an occasion. Like everyone gets together, everyone gets excited about it. At least my family. We literally have like a lunch where we talk about goals and stuff. So
wow. That's cool. I think for me, it's like I get to ignore anything bad I've done the year before. Meaning like if I've been eating chips and queso for 4 days in a row on December 31st, it doesn't matter on January 1st because I get a fresh start. Like nothing bad in the past matters. And I know I'm talking a lot about food, but it's just because I'm drinking a green smoothie currently.
It's a fresh start, a blank slate.
Yeah. So, you guys have like a goal-setting lunch.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yep. Tell me, do you have like a system for how you set goals or like the number of goals you set or
so
anything like that?
I usually tend to set more than I should, which I've come to terms with the fact that that's just,
me too.
I think we're very similar. I just, like you, I have a lot of projects and ideas and things I want to do. So I write them all down, but I understand, I could pick maybe like 3 to actually really focus on. And so my family has kind of like 2 guidelines we try to use. They're acronyms for how you should, well, I wouldn't say should, but they're guidelines. So try to make them fit into these parameters. But if they don't, that's okay. Just be aware that they might not. I feel like people feel defeated when they don't reach their goals, but most often it's just because they weren't formulated, to set yourself up for success. So the 2 acronyms that we use are S.M.A.R.T, S.M.A.R.T, and D.O.P.E, D.O.P.E.
Okay, so I know the SMART goals, but I've never heard of a DOPE goal.
No, I literally made that up myself. There was like, not everything that I try to do with my goals fit into the SMART, so I'm like, I'm going to add my own word. Yes. So
I love it.
DOPE I just came up with. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about SMART goals. I think most people probably know what it is, but maybe let's just like go over it really quick.
Sure. So S is for specific. So you want to try not to be too broad or general. So as detailed as you can be. So for instance, if your goal is get more clients and income, try to make that more specific. So maybe book 5 more clients and raise prices by 50%, something like that. And then measurable. So I know a lot of people have a goal maybe to be better at self-care, but there's really no way to measure at the end of the year if you made that or not, right? It's very broad. So a more measurable goal might be get a massage after every doubleheader. That's something that you can actually see. Okay, I did that, right?
Yes. I dig the massage goal.
That was one of my goals last year.
You're speaking Kimberly's love language there.
I love massages too. Yep. And then attainable, it should be something that you have control over attaining. So a lot of people make the mistake of setting a goal that's really out of their control. So something that involves a third party or external forces that they can't control. So for instance, if your goal is to find a boyfriend and get married by 2022, it takes two to tango. You can't control that. But what you could control is make a dating profile and go on one date per week, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These are
And
good
then-
examples.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And then realistic. So, I mean, this is kind of like a tough one. It's kind of a fine line. So you obviously want to make it something that you'll be proud of achieving. You want to push yourself, challenge yourself, but you don't want to make it so much of a reach that you already know in your mind, oh, there's no way I'm not gonna reach that this year. So then you don't even try at all. So
Yeah.
it should be like a tease. Like, yeah, it should be a reach, but definitely like you should know in your heart of hearts it's possible.
Yeah. I'd be like, I'm going to be president.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then time-based. So there should be some type of deadline or time frame attached to it. If you don't attach deadlines, I've learned from myself, it'll just never get done because there's no urgency.
Yeah.
So
Those
that
are
was
good.
SMART. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So all the goals that you guys set as a family are SMART goals, but what are
Basically, yeah.
DOPE goals?
Yes. So DOPE. D is for decisive. So I feel like people have a tendency to kind of hedge their goals. So to give themselves like two options or either this or that. So for instance, if you have a goal to speak at one conference about one topic or another conference about another topic, just pick one and commit to it. Otherwise, you're going to spread yourself too thin. You're going to try to like write a pitch for two or research the two topics, and you're not going to really have a strong pitch for either. So I recommend just
This is my problem in life.
yeah,
Is that
mine too.
I like have so many
You're so dope, Kimberly.
ideas. I just have so many things I want to do in life that I stretch myself too thin. Like I realize this about myself.
I'm the same way. Yeah. For me, I kind of calm myself by telling myself, you can do everything, but you can't do everything at once. So you don't
Yeah.
have to completely ignore your goals. Just pick some that you're going to prioritize this year. And you can definitely do the other ones, but just, save it for later.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Okay, D.
So that was
I
D.
got it.
O is own. So it should be your own goal. So something that you feel motivated to do. So it shouldn't be a goal that you feel like you're being pushed to do, that the industry says you should do, or your spouse says that you should do. It should be something that you want to do, because if your heart's not in it, you're not going to be motivated and you're just not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
I actually really like the DOPE goals.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, like the SMART goals I've heard for like
Right.
decades.
Oh, yeah.
But I like these. Okay, let's keep going. P.
All right. So P is positive. So it should be written, if you're going to write it down or, publish it somewhere, it should be in the positive tense. So no negative statements, no no's, no stop, no quit.
Like
So-
I'm not going to eat queso once a week.
Right.
Instead, it should be I'm going to.
Exactly. It
eat
should be what you're going to
vegetables.
replace it with. Exactly. So the human brain is not able to not think about something. It can only think. So I'm going to do a little experiment on you guys. If I told you right now, don't think about a pink elephant,
Oh, I totally.
what are you thinking about?
Yeah, I
Go.
totally
Yes,
pictured it in
your
my head.
brain is just not able to unthink. It can only think. So if you make your goal stop smoking or stop watching TV, you're going to be thinking about cigarettes and TV. So you want to distract yourself by just not even mentioning what you want to quit. So if it's your goal to stop watching TV, maybe say read 10 pages in a book every night. So you're focusing on what you are going to do, what you're replacing it with.
I like it.
And then E is emotional. So try to make your goal more emotional by attaching like an adverb or just putting a positive spin on it. So for instance, last year, as we talked about, my goal was to get a massage after every doubleheader, but I changed that to enjoy a massage after every doubleheader. So part of the goal is enjoying it. So if I'm, kind of feeling guilty about getting the massage because I have work to do, nope, the goal was to enjoy a massage. So I'm going to enjoy this.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
I like a DOPE goal. Okay, so Lynn, because I feel like we're similar in the like too many goal personality thing.
Yeah.
Do you have a certain number of goals you try to set a year?
Yeah, I do.
Because
So
I think my problem is I have too many.
Yeah.
And then it's impossible to achieve all of the goals that I have.
Yeah.
Just like because there is time involved in life.
Right. I try to keep it to like 2 to 5, so usually around 3 major goals. And then like maybe below those goals in like smaller text or on like a smaller piece of paper, I'll put my projects. But I'll kind of work on those if I have extra time. But the goal is to pick just a couple to focus on so that you can give all of your resources to that. So the term when you're gardening is pruning. So you want to, let's say you want to grow a bush and you want it to be a really healthy big bush. You might prune the sides so that it grows fuller and taller. Or if you're growing pumpkins, a lot of people who do those pumpkin contests out in the country, those like big prize pumpkins, the way to do that is you have a pumpkin vine and a bunch of pumpkins grow on it. But once you see one kind of growing larger than the rest, you prune the rest of the pumpkins so that all the water and nutrients goes to that one pumpkin. So like with your goals, if you had like 10 goals, you might make a little progress on 10 goals rather than really achieving and killing it on these 3 goals. So that's what you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure.
And are you doing like short term, long term? Are you like how are you organizing?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Your goals, really.
So like I said, my family's a little bit nuts about this. I actually made an actual workbook for us to work on.
Oh my gosh.
I actually have it online too.
I love this about your family. We just like our family gatherings, we just eat. We don't
my family, everyone who knows us is like the Christensens. They're crazy. Yeah, we're nuts. So part of the workbook, we have our major goals, so the ones we want to work on this year. So we try to do yearly goals. And then there's another section for just like short term, like quick to-dos, and then future goals. So we'll write them down so we don't forget about them, but they're kind of for like 1 to 5 to 10 years.
And
oh my God.
Do you like organize between like personal and business goals, or you combine them? How does that work?
Yeah, so another part of the workbook is that there's a page to kind of evaluate your values. So every year you're kind of in a different season of life. So some years your family might be more important. My sister's pregnant, so basically all of her goals are family related. Most of mine tend to be like business related. My parents are retired, so theirs is also kind of like family or like stuff around the house. So we have a page to kind of evaluate not what's most important to you, because hopefully all areas of your life are important to you, but what areas you want to focus on. So it's probably going to be different year to year. I remember a couple years ago, I made like a really big jump in my business and I got, super busy and established. And that year was really great for my business, but my self-care was just like awful. So the following year, I hardly focused on business. My goal was just to make the same amount of profit, but basically not much more because I knew that I would just go insane. So my emphasis was on, self-care, personal time, family time that year. So it definitely changes from year to year. So just do a little soul searching before you set your goals to kind of decide what you want to focus on.
That's good. Okay, here's one of my problems. I sometimes set a goal, but then don't like revisit it often, if that makes sense. Like, are you putting your goals like somewhere you can see them? Or are you looking at your workbook once a week? Like, how are you keeping up with them so it's not just something that you write down at the beginning of the year or like think about at the beginning of the year, but don't like keep continually working on?
Yeah, this is a big one. So, So my boyfriend's and my goals are on little clipboards right above our computer in our little desk area. So we literally see them every single day. And that's something I would really recommend. No matter what your goal is, definitely write it down. So if not for other people, for yourself, because when it's in your head, it's kind of just like a dream or an idea. But when you write it down, just the physical act of writing it down, your brain is like, okay, so this is real. I actually am deciding to do this. So by writing it down, you're choosing for yourself that you want to do it. And then number 2, putting it somewhere publicly is really helpful because it keeps it on the top of your mind. So it's impossible to ignore. Every time you see it, it reminds your brain, okay, that's right, I'm working on this. And the human brain is wired to want to confirm whatever is in its brain. So if you have a goal to be on this TV show or something, if it's constantly on your brain will look for ways to make it happen. So it'll look for connections like, oh, this person knows this person who's on that network. Maybe they know someone. Or like you're just going about your life shopping and you see something that reminds you of it. So that's kind of how manifestation happens. When it's constantly on your mind, things just happen because your brain makes it happen.
Yeah. My business coach, I mean, it's a little woo-woo, but
Yeah,
she's like,
no, I'm all
when
for
you
it.
like put it out into the world, it's like the universe makes things happen
Right.
that wouldn't necessarily happen if you didn't. I mean,
I
it's a
know.
little woo-woo, but I'm totally into
I
it.
agree. I mean, it seems woo-woo, but to be honest, it's just psychology. It's not even magic. It's just literally how the brain works. When it's on your mind, you will look for ways to make it happen. Yep.
Yeah.
And then, so not
Annie,
even for yourself.
have we lost you over there?
Yeah, you guys are over there riding your unicorns. Just kidding.
Oh gosh.
But then not even for yourself, I would recommend putting it somewhere publicly. So post it on Facebook or Instagram or
Ooh,
talk about
That's
it.
the hard one, yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I think you lost me on that one.
I did do a goal, you guys. Now looking back, I did on New Year's Day. I posted, first workout of 2020. I look forward to 249 more. So,
Oh, see, Annie, you are a goal setter.
You guys. Gold star.
That's really see, and it was like measurable and achievable.
Yeah.
I was going to do like 300, but I was like, maybe not. Let's do 249. But
so are you going to do, Annie, like a workout countdown to your number?
Yeah, so I'm trying to do like 5 a week, I guess, so like 5 times 52 weeks and ish.
That's aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much do that, but like there'll be sometimes where it's like I get really busy, so I don't, like one week I might not do 5, and I just want to try and keep consistent on it.
Yeah. But are you going? Okay, so like you put that out on Facebook, like I want to do however many. Are you going to like count down?
Yeah, so I have like my.
Am I going to see a post from you on Facebook every day?
Well, no, on my app, like I do it through Orange Theory, so like my app like keeps my totals for the year of how many workouts I do.
Oh,
I see. Yeah, so I can kind of keep track of that. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah.
That's great. I've heard really good things about Orange Theory.
Yeah, I mean it's like close to my house, and it's that I think that's the one thing, and it can consolidate it down in an hour. I mean, people are always like, "Do you love it?" I'm like, I hate it while I'm doing it, but I love it when I'm done with it.
I took one Orange Theory class, and I was sore for like 4 days.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard. It was hard. I was like dying, and then my body hurt for multiple days afterwards.
Yeah. I like feeling sore. Is that weird?
Yeah. No. That's not weird at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it means you actually worked something.
Yeah.
You burnt muscle.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, this has been really great, and I feel like I have several goals that I've already like written down, but I think I need to prune them a little bit in order to make them, because you guys know me now. Like I just have a lot of thoughts and ideas, and I just want to do it all.
Yeah. And I feel like I kind of get like that too, Kimberly, where it's just all in my head and I have all these ideas, but maybe if I did write them down more, it would be more organized, and I would keep myself more accountable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's always like, I'm always like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, like this sounds fun. This sounds fun. And
I know, but just like saying it and not doing anything about it, it's like
different. Yeah.
That's what I do with some of my goals. Like I might have like 10 goals, and like goal number 8 and 9, I like haven't done anything about all year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so then it's like, what's the point of it even being a written down goal if you're not going to do anything about it?
Yeah.
It's just a waste.
Well, I just get obsessed with like, I'm such a perfectionist where it's like failure's not an option. So it's like, if I write them down, like I have to do it. And like, like that just scares me because I don't want to fail. So
Annie, I have been reading a lot of self-help books lately, and not really self-help, but like business-minded books. And like, every single one of like people I respect who are in business and super successful, like literally every single one, because I'm the same way. Like I would have, I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago been like, my biggest fear in life is failing. But every single one of these books, and I couldn't even tell you what they are, but they're like, you should fail. Like failing is good.
Yeah.
Like if you're afraid to fail, then you're not going to be successful because you won't put yourself out there, blah, 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 blah. I say all that to say like I have that issue too. But I feel like if we can break through that, then like we'll just be more successful in life. And I don't even mean like money in your pocket or business. I just mean like in life.
And you always
because literally all of these books are like, failure is not failure. Yeah. Failure is an opportunity. Failure is a learning lesson. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but I mean, I always also go into it, and I think it's also for my husband is very analytical. Like, what's the worst case scenario? If you don't make this goal, like, are you gonna die? No. Like, are you gonna are you like what is the like? I always kind of will look at like worst case scenario, and if the worst case scenario is not that bad, fine.
But that's like the opposite of what you were just saying, of like being afraid of the
Well,
goal.
no. I feel like as I get older, but I do get nervous about writing them down because I don't want to fail, and I need to get over that. Because I don't know, like Kimberly, I don't know. Have you ever? I've never really failed at anything. I mean, like little tiny, like goofy things, like I mean, gymnastics is a keynote, like. But I mean, I haven't really failed anything in
I think
business, like a big failure. Like I've never. But maybe that's because I haven't put myself out there to fail.
But I don't think failure has to be like I filed bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Like I had a business idea and filed bankruptcy. Like it could just be like
Messed up on something.
I tried something and it didn't work. And I, put a product out into the world and nobody cared about it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's technically could be a failure, but like to your point.
But I
it's
do
not the end of the
a
world.
lot of things I will do, and because I know I'm good at it. I don't necessarily put myself out there to things that I know I'm not going to be that great at.
Mm.
And maybe I should.
I feel like that is like deep psychology.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, really, like I feel like that's deep self-analysis.
Yeah. Like I just feel like I just am not.
You play it safe.
I do play it safe, and maybe that should be one of my goals is maybe to try something that I'm probably not going to be that great at, but at least learn something new. I don't know. Let me think about it.
Mm. This is deep.
Thanks for coming on this journey with me, guys.
Lynn, you thought you were talking about goals, but it's actually a psychology session right now.
Exactly.
If you need me, guys, I'm going to be crying in the corner. Just kidding.
But like to that point, Lynn, when you're goal setting, are you like how much are your goals stretch goals? Like for example, like Annie is working out 5 days a week. That is not necessarily a stretch goal because she's saying that's what I already do.
Yeah.
That's a good
Like
point.
I mean, it's still a good goal. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. Like that's still a good goal, but it's not like hard for you to achieve because you think it's like very easy for you to achieve.
Right.
So my question is, Lynn, how like do you suggest people do goals? Like if I did a working out 5 day a week goal, that would be a huge stretch goal for me because I don't currently work out 5 days a week.
Mhm.
Do you suggest people have like a goal that's super attainable and then a stretch
Like a
goal?
stretch
or
should
that
be
all
like
the goals are stretch goals?
6-pack abs. Like that is just not happening.
I feel like for me, they're not necessarily huge in that it's like an epic result, but just that maybe it's like a very intricate project or something that requires a lot of like dedication. Like I feel like it makes me grow as a person because I need to like be really diligent about habits, or it's not necessarily hard in that it's like difficult. It's just it requires consistency and like just growing as a person in order to reach it, which is
I think-
also to your point, if you go for a goal and you don't get the finish line, but you grew as a person, that's an accomplishment. Even though you didn't get the finish line, you changed as a person, which is like the entire goal of setting goals is to become a better person.
Yeah. I think like Annie, your goal, like your workout goal, I think if I had goals that were more, because usually my goals are like project-based goals, like something I want to accomplish, and it's like a thing. But I feel like if I had goals that were more like required you to be consistent over the course of a year, meaning like I wouldn't say procrastinator, but kind of a procrastinator. Like I always get things done, but not because I'm like slow and steady wins the race. I'm sometimes like, well, I'm going to cram and get it done and it's still going to be great. But if my goal is to work out 152 times, you can't do that in the last 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that would be a good stretch goal for you, something that requires consistency rather than
Yes, exactly. Yeah, consistency that was my like word of the year, I think
last
in like
year.
2017. Was it last year?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 years ago. Yeah. I don't remember. But because it's not something I'm great at, being like consistent about whatever it is, even if it's like making my bed. Like I'm not always consistent.
I think we are like Kimberly words. A lot of times in life, I'm very like black or white. Like I'm very like if I'm really, really strict, or it's like I'm like it's like go hog wild. You know, it's like there's no gray areas sometimes. So
I know that's not good though. That's how I am too. Yeah. I am like working out and eating right, or I'm eating chips and queso and like not moving off the couch.
Yeah.
There's like no in between. Where like if I was eating chips and queso and working out, like that would be better.
True.
So, yeah.
It's hard.
It's I would like to operate more in the gray. I've said this before in episodes.
I feel like that's just a personality type thing. I think especially for entrepreneurs, that's just
It is.
who we are, I think.
Lynn, do you know your Enneagram number?
No, I need to. I think I haven't taken it yet, but just from hearing other people post their numbers, I want to say 3. Is 3 like the doer?
Yeah, I'm
I
a
think I'm
3.
3. I think I'm a 3.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
think
taken
I'm a
it, but I
3
really
too.
should.
I don't know what mine is. I need to do that.
Yeah, I took it a long time ago and was like super into it. And
Yeah.
then I kind of forgot about, consistency,
Yeah.
not one of my strengths. But I feel like lately it's like everybody knows their number. So I
Yeah.
like took the test and was like, oh yeah.
It's like, what's your zodiac sign? It's a new thing.
Mhm.
It's the zodiac sign of 2020.
Okay, Lynn, so we were kind of talking about accountability, like you kind of share with your family. Do you also share it any other places? Do you, other than just putting
Yeah.
it, like you said, like a clipboard, how,
But you said share it on Facebook.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Do you really do that?
I do, yeah. I usually always like post a picture of that goal setting sheet in my workbook. So my mindset is try to share it with as many people as possible. So I totally get where you guys are coming from, that it's like vulnerable and maybe embarrassing if it's like an embarrassing goal, or maybe it's like private, like a financial goal or something. But I totally recommend making it public because, first of all, it makes you more accountable, because if you know that your friend who's in this networking group with you knows your goal, you know that next time you see her, she's probably going to ask you, oh, how's it going? How many times have you been to the gym this week? Or how's it going on this goal? So we're going to subconsciously want to share positive news with her. So it kind of like pushes you every single time you run into them. It makes you want to have some progress to share. And also, not just for accountability, just for resources. Everyone loves helping people. Psychologists call it the helper's high. People love being like knowing that they helped someone get somewhere. So if you put a goal out there that kind of, requires connections, or people might have ways to help you reach that goal, or even like something simple like keto. People might be like, oh, you're keto too? Here are my 5 favorite easy recipes. People are able to help you because they know how to help you. So by putting it out there, the more people that know about it, the more people that can help you reach it.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm totally reevaluating all
my
my life choices
goal
right
is
now.
to have so many Christian Louboutin shoes. So if anybody wants to help me with that, feel free to send them.
I mean, that sounds silly, but to be
Just
honest,
kidding.
what if there's some girl out there with like 10 pairs and she's like, my goal this year is to be minimalist. So here you go. Here's 5 pairs.
Well, yeah, I am
You
like
never
a
know.
size 41 and a half, and so it's like Bigfoot. So if there's any, people with big feet out there, send them my way.
Okay, I am making a goal right this second, because if I work out 4 times a week times 52 weeks,
200.
that's 208.
Yeah, so 208. Maybe like take it down to 175-ish.
No, I think 208. Why are you trying to make me minimize my goals?
What if you want to go on vacation? I don't know. Okay. I mean, a walk on the beach is a workout, I guess. 200.
Wait, times 4? 208. Okay, 200. Okay, 200. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be my goal. One of my goals. I'm putting it out in the universe. Does putting it out on a podcast?
Now, how are you gonna keep track of those 200 workouts? Are you gonna post every day on Facebook?
No, I probably am not going to do that. But is there like some kind of like countdown app I can get on my phone?
There's a tracker, an app.
There's gotta be, yeah.
Or just put it in your calendar that you worked out.
I feel like MyFitnessPal might have something like that. Like you don't necessarily have to put in all the stats, like miles run or calories burned or anything, but maybe just like I worked out today.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some kind of goal tracker app. I'm gonna research that today in all my free time.
That actually is a perfect segue into another piece of advice I would give.
Yeah.
So they say that the first 48 hours after you set your goal are the most important in determining whether you reach it or not.
Really?
So like the second you get an idea for a goal or you feel inspired, so basically inception, from 48 hours from inception of the goal, you should do one thing towards it, even if it's super tiny, like opening a Word doc and saving it, or just researching an app or whatever it is, because it teaches your brain, okay, I'm serious about this. We're going to do this. Because it's kind of like if you get invited on a date from a guy and you're sitting there waiting for him and he doesn't show up and he ends up standing you up, you're not going to trust that guy. You're probably not going to say yes to another date. The same thing happens in your brain. Your brain learns not to trust yourself. So it's like, it knows, oh, when Lynn has goals, they're not serious. They're just little vague ideas. But if every time you have a goal, you do one thing towards it, your brain learns, oh, okay, you have a goal. What are we going to do about it? Like, it trains your brain to trust you.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I said goal, my like brain would be like, "Whoa, what is this new word you just said?" Just kidding.
Lynn, you talked about your workbook that you have.
Yes.
Is this something people can buy from you?
Oh, it's free. Oh, no, it's totally free. Yeah.
How does someone get this workbook?
Yeah, so it's on my blog. I'll create like a shortcut link though to make it easier to find it. So I'll just make it
perfect.
Lynn Pernille, so LINPERNILLE.com/TWIW.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We'll add that to our show notes so people can find it and download it. Get out of town. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Excellent.
Write down your goals. I guess we need to kind of all keep us accountable. So if you guys want to share your goals, let us know and we'll try and help. And if you can help us too. If you see pictures of me and Kimberly with queso, feel free to come and knock it out of our hands and yell at us.
Yeah. Problem.
I mean, queso's
this is good though.
Keto. Side note, queso's probably keto if there's no sugar in it.
But we're not dipping celery in it.
Vegetables.
Oh, true.
No.
That's true.
That's tortilla chips.
Yeah, that's true.
That are so delicious.
Yeah, that's the
problem. All right, ladies, this has been great, and I feel like I'm going to go make some dope goals right about now. I love it. Lynn, thank you so much, first of all, for being a podcast listener. We love that. And secondly, for being a guest, our first, legit guest of 2020.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.